Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So if this weren't so funny, it would be scary, but it's still funny. So that's why we're going to be talking about our favorite psychopathic politician who almost became the president. So you know how we've been celebrating our new president for better or worse, but it hasn't even taken but a month for the runner-up. You know, it was a narrow margin. It was like 0.7%, right? So it could have been either one of these guys who became president. Well, Jae-myeong, he did say that he was going to take a break from politics, but no, he just went right in. He's going to be running for the National Assembly seat over in Incheon, sort of near the Incheon International Airport, for the by-elections in June. And so he's heavily campaigning in that area, even though he's not from there. He's not from that region. He doesn't live there. He has never had any kind of like business ties over there that we know of, even though there's kind of like a big old casino a little bit in maybe the next district over. But Ahn Cheol-soo is running in his traditional area, and Ahn Cheol-soo was like, well, if you have the confidence, come and, you know, take me on, but they didn't. Anyhow, so Jae-myeong is over there heavily campaigning, right? And we are seeing more and more, this guy is like unraveling. Okay. A couple of instances. So he was at a restaurant and he was just eating in there, and the media was outside, and he was like, oh, they're here. So he wanted to make a speech. So he goes outside and there's like a minor, a girl, in his way, but barely like even in his way, you know, kind of like when you're like passing by somebody, like maybe you're like walking in the subway, and instead of like kind of moving over, he went like this and just like pushed her out of the way and be like, move out of the way, I'm the star, kind of a thing, you know, like literally, like it totally reminded me of when, you know, when Trump was on that overseas mission and he pushed away one of the ambassadors. I think he was like from Macedonia, or like the prime minister of like Macedonia. And so I went like this, and people were like, dang, that is so like rude, but totally shows like this guy's a jerk. Well, yeah, didn't we already know? But still, people just sort of love him because, you know, this dude, when he campaigns, he's like, I mean, the guy is a performer, right? I mean, like, he's like eating stuff, drinking stuff, like, you know, chatting. Like, this guy is a charmer. So still, even when he's like pushing people out of the way, people still love him. And so, you know what his camp said? How they explained it, they said, oh, he was just pushing her, or he was just trying to guard her from the crowd because it was a bit unsafe because there were so many people. So he was doing that. Yeah, you can see from the video. Do you think that was actually like protective, or he was like, yeah, total diva vibes, but more, not really even diva, but just more like psychopath. Okay, speaking of, this is even worse than that. So yes, he has been campaigning heavily. So even he's like hiking up, even like going up the mountains with like, you know, kids. I think this was most likely maybe around Children's Day, who knows, but he was also filming for his own personal YouTube channel. And, you know, in the chat, or when they were filming, they were like, okay, so what do you want to say? And then he's like, he basically said that 인천서 숨쉰 채 발견. So basically that means like found breathing in Incheon. So that doesn't sound so like bad, I guess, in English, but it even sounds weird. Basically it's a nonsensical thing because of course he's breathing, but maybe the implication is like he's breathing in the fresh mountain air, but really what he was doing is making a play on words. Like if you looked at it really fast, it resembles a phrase that is more commonly used, is instead of 숨 쉰 is breathing, 숨진 숨진 채 발견 is usually what we say when somebody has been found dead. And people were just like, what kind of psychopath is he? Because so many headlines in the news during the campaign had that exact phrase. And that's probably why he was like kind of trying to be funny about it. But a lot of headlines had that phrase associated with him and his land scandal because a lot of the key witnesses suddenly were found not breathing. Yeah. And so people are just like, what a psychopath. And he's like, this is gonna make a great thumbnail on my YouTube channel, you know, if like I put this and then people are gonna be like, what? Oh, yeah, found breathing. Oh, yeah. No, guy, you look like a crazy psycho. So those are two kind of like crazy psycho instances. But speaking of, and I almost forgot, so I'm glad that there was like one news panel that brought this up. Remember, you know, refer to my video about the actress who was going for the D. Basically, she helped Yoon Suk-yeol get into the president's office because she went on such a revenge campaign against Jae-myeong because she's like, this guy is a psychopath. We cannot have him as president, and I know why, because I was his mistress. And she's been saying for years that, you know, she was his mistress, not because she wanted to, but because she just admitted it, but then she got slandered by Jae-myeong, being called a liar. And then so in a way where like she didn't want, I mean, who wants to like say like to prove that they were like somebody's mistress? But she felt, I mean, according to her, she felt that she had to do it for the public good to show what kind of a real person this guy, how two-faced this guy was or is and was in her experience with him, because it sounds like it did not end well at all, where he like totally degraded her, called her like basically like a rag. And so, you know, she's probably, you know, wanting to settle some scores. And part of the big thing, and she even recently revived the lawsuit earlier this year, but I don't know where it went, where she wanted the medical record. She wanted that doctor who checked his D to verify, because she said like, I can prove it because I know exactly what his D looks like, and I know there's a particular mole, and that doctor. And then so like this was a, you know, a controversy years before, and then when he was running for office, he's like, fine, I'm gonna go to a doctor and he's gonna examine me and we're gonna put this to rest. And everyone's saying like, dude, that doctor's your friend and this hospital's in your district, you know, like, no. And that's what she's calling them back out on after all of these years. She's saying like, I want that doctor to release the notes on how he exactly made the examination. Probably not a very nice examination, but the examination, because, you know, she thinks he's lying because she knows like what the D looked like. So anyhow, so she basically was invited to the inauguration ceremony, and she, on her own YouTube channel, before she got her hair and makeup done, she was kind of like showing the dress she was gonna wear. She did a mini fashion show. She's like, hey, doesn't this dress kill? And she's like, yeah, it's like red, black. And then she said like, it's like Gucci, Max Mara. I don't know which one is Gucci, which one is Max Mara, like the dress or the jacket, you know, fashionistas, you can put in the comments below. And then when she, you know, she went to the inauguration ceremony, boom, red mask, hair, makeup. Why exactly red? Well, red is the color of the party that Yoon Suk-yeol is part of. But remember, her whole tagline was basically that you have to be careful about Jae-myeong because he is 독이 든 시빨간 사이다. So like it basically means like it's like poison scarlet red 7-Up. And remember that term 7-Up is meant to be a good term, like, oh, he's so clear and transparent and he's like refreshing because he speaks kind of bluntly, you know, he's kind of funny. He doesn't like bore you in that politician talk. But she's saying, beware. You may think you're drinking just a clear 7-Up. No, it's scarlet red with poison in it. And I think we saw that this week. What kind of psycho is thinking of that while he's hiking with kids and trying to like basically say like make a pun on all of the tragedy that is surrounding his land scandal that's still not put to rest? And who shoves little girls out of the way so that he can just go make a campaign speech? I don't know. Don't drink that soda. Don't drink that soda over in Incheon. You voters gotta be careful. Careful. Otherwise, he's gonna be charging up so much stuff on your government credit cards over in that city too. That still hasn't even been resolved. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been resolved. And the football team scandal, that hasn't been resolved either. How come this guy has so many things that just get... This guy needs to take care of his old business before going on to new business. See, that's why the thing is that he's so good at like, you know, like keeping pace, you know, like staying ahead of it. And so anyhow, put your comments below. What do you think about the shove? What do you think about the thumbnail tunnel? What do you think about her dress? Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Tune in next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Love you.